Magic Overtime with Dante and Galante is brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida.
Oh my goodness.
And my third wife.
Age 22.
Oh, look at that.
That's my favorite. And welcome back to the set of Magic Overtime with Dante, Galante, and Paul Kennedy. Similar to the, wasn't it the Great American Hero?
Yeah.
I'd like to announce formally I'm no longer speaking to my mother.
Wow.
She is off the Christmas list.
Now, why is that? Just because of this one picture?
Did you see the amount of money I
thought
spent on that homecoming corsage?
I did. It was big.
That could have been the prom. I don't know.
How did that work out? Everything go okay with that?
I haven't spoken to her in 31 years.
I can
Right.
see why. Yeah,
I didn't know they had cameras back in 1920.
Cease and desist orders, I think,
Right.
Yeah, stalking. She won't leave me alone.
Do we have one of those though? There's one hair picture that stood out the most. If we can show that, do we have that? Can we pull that up again? That was good. That was one of my. What was going on there?
That's a knot the size of a football right there. That's in college. That's at the Harvard of the South.
But why would you
Virginia Tech?
Why would you get rid of that?
That suit.
Or the
You know
hair.
what's worse than the jacket, George?
What's that? Besides the hair?
There's pants to match.
The pants to match that jacket.
With the patent leather shoes. Is that
That
70s?
is. And you're right, though. He does look like the greatest American hero. I can see him now
Yeah,
flying
there's a
through the
little
woods.
similarity there.
I think Jimmy Carter was president briefly when that was taken, and that's why he wasn't reelected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
Paul, just tell us, for those that don't know Paul Kennedy, what makes up Paul Kennedy? What are some of
Yeah.
your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're for the 1 hour a day that you're not on camera?
I record most and TiVo most of the Dante and Galante shows.
Right, naturally.
Well,
Other
that's-
than that.
Beyond
I love baseball. Watching our beloved Boston Red Sox. Should we all stand?
That just you two can stand. I'm not.
You're a Rays guy.
I love that
No,
you're
I'm a
Sox-
Mets guy.
And he is a big Sox fan, too, by the way.
Paul,
And I
This is
think
a true
that's-
story. I'm at Fenway 2 years ago.
Okay.
All right, they're playing the Cleveland Indians night game. I got seats about 20 rows up from behind home plate. Got them through the ball club.
Okay.
So I said, well, I'll go get a bit of Canadian ginger ale in the back, and I
Right.
walk up the top, get a nice cold one, and I'm standing in line, and the guy next to me is wearing a Red Sox hat. You know who it was? Dante Marcatelli.
Get
This
outta
guy
here.
at the same game.
Absolutely.
How
Had
did
his
that work
face
out?
painted and everything.
The best part is I had seen him the first 6 innings and managed to avoid him, but this time he snuck right up
Had
on
the
me.
Manny Ramirez hat.
Was it
the
embarrassing?
wig.
Was it embarrassing that you had 7 hot dogs in your arms
That
as
was
you were walking by
embarrassing.
and you were
I
with
did-
yourself?
I did feel a little bit bad
He
about
goes,
it.
yo, bro, I'm in my Manny tonight.
What about running, Paul? You're into running, right?
I
a little
love
bit,
to run.
right?
I love it. And Track Shack here in John and Betsy Hughes, we run the 10Ks, the 5Ks.
Right.
Half marathon, ran the Disney Marathon a few years ago. It's a lot of fun. All I can do athletically
Right.
is run in a straight
line, right?
Yeah.
We have a picture of you running in a straight line as well.
you?
Matter of fact,
Might
right
have
here,
been
look
one
at
of those. Might have been one of those Track Shack events.
What is that? Is that called the airplane landing? What's that move?
Is that your signature finish? Is that how you come across?
You know,
the line?
I ran a 5K on July 4th with Paul Kennedy, and that's how he finished the race. He came in just like this.
I'm an
swooping,
airplane.
Swooping. I thought he was showing off.
That's like our flight into Detroit a week ago,
that
right
was
there.
bad, right?
How about that? You guys were both on that plane, right? Was that the worst flight that you've ever been on?
I sacrificed a goat so we would get down
So that
safely.
you would land.
Right.
I heard a lot of people admitting a lot of things on the way down.
What
Right.
made that flight so bad? For those that weren't on it, like me, what made it so bad?
The pilot.
The airplane.
The flight crew.
What are you doing? Do you
Turbulence.
have radar?
Here's when I knew we
Well,
were
that
in
get me into
trouble.
trouble.
Didn't you know this is when you were in trouble when the flight attendant got on the PA and said, "Now, if you have a shoulder harness, we suggest that you put that on."
Oh, my.
I think there was only 4 shoulder harnesses on the whole plane.
The flight crew had them all.
I turned to Paul and I said, "What if I
you can
don't
find
have
one
a
now-
shoulder?"
He's
Yeah.
not kidding.
What if I don't have a shoulder harness? I'm screwed.
So what did you do?
the end.
What do you do if you don't? Did you frantically look for
I'll
it?
tell you what I did. This is what I did.
I was.
Just brace for
Just
it.
like that. It was not good.
Oh my! I wrapped myself around Dennis Newman.
All right, let's make the smooth transition. We're going to make the smooth transition to a new game we have. We're going to play a game called Name That Kennedy.
Name that
all right.
Kennedy.
Obviously, you come from
Bobby,
a long
Jack.
line of famous Kennedys.
Ted.
So we pulled a few of the most famous Kennedys that we can think of throughout time.
Pee Wee.
All of them, as you know. So take a look at the monitor. We're going to show you a picture.
All right.
Paul Kennedy, you name that Kennedy. First up.
All right. Go. Oh, my good friend Jack.
Jack.
I
Right.
don't hear much from him.
No,
Much more.
unfortunately, no.
No.
But that's right. You're right. Here's one.
Can't go there. I don't recognize the Denver uniform. in the
Mad
back.
Dog. Mad Dog. Do we know who that one is? Goo. That's right.
Goo
That's
Kennedy.
your good friend Goo.
Playing for your San Antonio Spurs in the old ABA days,
I don't know
right?
who that is behind him.
Mad Dog. Who's that again?
Goo.
That's right.
Goo Kennedy.
Goo Kennedy. And who is this last one? Any
Oh,
idea who
for
that is?
Temple. Starts with a P.
It does start with a P. It does.
Not Pee-wee, peanut.
No. Another food item.
Another peas, peppercorn, post up.
You're right. Ding, ding, ding. Peppercorn Kennedy. You're right.
That right there is the famous Pickles Kennedy.
Pickles Kennedy.
That is Pickles Kennedy.
Looks more like a watermelon there.
Maybe,
but,
maybe the most famous of all Kennedys was Pickles Kennedy.
I love the guns. Look at those guns. Huh?
Well, he was an athlete. There's no doubt about
Android.
that.
Android does a lot back then. Let's go to the Geico fan question.
Yeah, let's
All right,
go
Paul?
to the guy. Mad Dog, you have the Geico fan question for this week?
I have it right here, guys. It comes from Matt, and Matt says, my least favorite sport is equestrian. What is your least favorite sport, PK?
I'm surprised that came up, Paul.
I can't believe it. We didn't feed that either. That was just completely, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, my God.
You don't know anything about equestrian, do you, Paul? Mad Dog, do you know anything about equestrian? You have anything back there on equestrian?
I have no clue, guys.
Okay.
No?
So put yourself in my shoes. It's like 1990. The boss, Dave Olmsted, walks into our office and goes, "Who knows anything here about horses?" And we all look at him, why? And he says, "I need someone to go to Dublin, Ireland and do a horse show." I went, "Horses are my life."
I love horses.
They're brown. They got 4 legs.
Right. Big long
Really
nose.
fast.
I get
fast.
sugar. I'll run right down and get sugar. I love this. And I went to Dublin, Ireland, and started doing horse shows and ended up doing them all over the world.
And
So-
actually competed, which we have a picture of you competing in a race.
Look at you, Paul.
You like that?
So sophisticated, right? I mean, that's
Oh,
pretty
that
impressive.
saddle pinches.
Look at the gloves.
Saddle. Some bad memories that brings back, huh?
You like the hat?
Let's just
Hey,
go right to
hey,
Would
if
You
it
Rather.
fits, fair enough.
Let's just go right
Let's
to
go right to Would You Rather question.
Would
All
I
right,
rather?
Paul, are you ready for this? Here it is. Paul Kennedy. Would you rather have body odor that can be detected across the yard,
Pretty strong.
or would you rather be extremely hairy like Bigfoot?
Extremely hairy like Bigfoot, because I can shave.
'Cause you said,
You take that.
Yeah,
take
I'd
the
take
hair over the hair
I'd
of the
be
body?
Manny for the Dodgers, number 99.
Mad Dog, is that right?
Well,
that is correct.
apparently.
Thank you.
Who knew?
Thank
I
you.
never would have guessed you would have gone that way.
Well, unfortunately, right now I have a lot of cologne on because I'm trying to cover up
Right.
the body, but I'm not hairy.
Anyway, before we get to the third segment,
Still a lot more to come, Paul.
we have to talk about the top Fantastic Players promotion
Yes.
on OrlandoMagic.com. Fans are going to get to vote, Paul, on the top players of all time in the franchise.
No.
Then they can go to OrlandoMagic.com, and the results
they
will be
will.
revealed right here on this show, April 17th.
You're
You
talking
want
about
to
the-
come back
the
for that
top-
one?
Absolutely. The top 20 players of all time?
Top 20
or-
players of all
I don't even think it's the top 20 players.
I know that. I think it's 5 on each, but there's
Right.
a blue team and a white team. One team for each decade.
I just
and that
see
will be
teams
revealed.
myself. I just see
That
teams.
will be revealed on this show, right here on this show.
What
all
about the
six,
top-
all 6 people will get to see their votes tally on
What,
April
is this on the
17th.
internet?
Yeah, so
what about the top 20 dancers of all time?
That's
Magic
coming.
time.
It's funny
That's
you say
coming up
that,
later.
right? I think Mad Dog's got more on that, but we are going to mention some of the dancers here in the next segment.
I've got my
Also,
top 5.
We also want to
course you
remind
do.
everyone, go to magicovertime.com. Keep submitting those emails. We get a pair of Magic Boston Celtics tickets.
March
right?
25th.
March 25th coming up. And also text 57375, keyword overtime. Mad Dog, what's next?
Well, guys, you're absolutely right. When we come back, we'll take a look at 20 years of Orlando Magic dancers and the Magic's upcoming schedule. We also want to thank you, the fans, for 20 years of support by bringing you the Fantastic Prizes Sweepstakes. Enter to win a new Kia Soul or a fantastic prize from Embark by going online at OrlandoMagic.com or any participating local Kia retailer or Embark store.
Magic Overtime with Dante and Galante is brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida.